Okay, just a minute. Okay, yeah. So what are uh, the three softwares what we need is, so one is you can go to the Google and just type, let me stop sharing first. Okay, now what we will be using for this one is go to the Google and just type AWS. Okay, and you will have this the page opened. And so and other we'll do one thing first, we'll finish this. Okay, everyone has to, so probably I believe everyone has created the AWS account, right? I hope so. If not, you just go here and click on the create free account. Okay, and you have to give the email address. Okay, and so it will ask for an the verification, and also it will ask for your credit card, don't worry, so it will not be charged. Okay, you can able to give the credit card, it should not be an issue, right? That is one thing, and also the AWS will give you the $100 in the credit. Okay, so you can able to completely utilize this completely utilize this $100 to do the hands-on experience. Okay, and this is one thing, and you need to be very careful when you start the project, you have to delete the resource at the end of the project. Okay, if not, if you leave the AWS services running, this credits which $100 credit. Okay, so $100 is nearly 8,500 rupees, or nearly 800 rupees, think like that. 8,000 rupees, sorry, 8,000 rupees, right? So be careful about this. Okay, and this is one thing, everybody has to create one account. This is one thing, let me, if you are facing any of the issues, let me know, I will help you out. This is one thing, because I already have my account, I'm not going to create once again. Okay, and the second software what we need is, this is the second software. Okay, so this is the software, you don't have to pay anything. Okay, so this is where we are designing the system initially, so we need to have some representation, correct? So how I was showing in the PPT, correct? So that is how we need to show the, before implementing in AWS, we have to design in this software. Okay, so basically we need AWS account and the draw.io, and the second one is the VS code. So if you type the VS code, this is also open source. So, and the draw.io is also open source. Okay, the three the three services what we need for the hands-on, one is AWS, create an account, second one's install the draw.io for the diagram. Okay, and the VS code, if you are using any the Mac, Windows, or else the Linux, you can able to directly, because we are trying to create an virtual smart meters, correct? So we cannot able to purchase the hardware. For that, we need to make our laptop as a sensor to send the data, correct? For that, we need some code editor, that is Visual Studio. Okay, so all three softwares are the free softwares, you don't have to worry anything about the payment, but you have to be very careful. I'm reiterating again, when you are using the AWS, so you have to be very careful about this $100. Okay, Okay, so anybody having any questions, please let me know. Okay, so we'll start. Okay, we'll start creating the diagram for today. Let me close this. Just give me a minute. So, so the draw you can able to download it locally, or else you can use it in the cloud. Okay, so let me log into my AWS account. Meanwhile, just give me a minute. Okay, I have opened. Okay, let me share my screen. Okay, now it should be okay. Yeah. So when you when you open the drawer, so this is how the software looks. Okay. Okay. So what we have to do is we have to start building our the architecture part. Correct. So for that, what we'll be doing is, so if you go to the more shapes, correct? This is the option. Okay. Click on this option, and you will have the different uh, the services. So we have the AWS, we have the Cisco, we have GCP, and the Kubernetes, and many more. Correct. But we are not selecting anything. We have to select this, the AWS 2026. Okay. And then click on the apply. So in your left hand side, so you will have the complete only AWS services, because we are trying to implement the AWS only. Okay, that is one thing. So let's start. Okay, so we'll initially we'll try to recreate this what I have done. Okay, so we'll start with the smart meters. Then this is the AWS part. Correct. So everyone needs to create once you are free and familiar, right? Try to do some hands-on. It will helpful. So here in this specific software draw you can create your own the projects. It is all about the flow, and it will be very much easy to explain the complete architecture of the project and do the hands-on before we actually do anything in the AWS system, right? And this is not only limited to the AWS. Similar projects in the drawer you can able to do it for the GCP as well as Azure. Okay, now let this is then search bar. Okay, or else if you wants to search in this specific uh, options, you can able to do it, or else just go here. So we'll select one smart meters, okay, for now. And so we will select so once you download this, you have to just go through it and try to explore the options what we are having in the drawer. Okay, so yeah, so this will be an, let's assume that we are doing it for Just a minute. Yeah. So we are doing for an substation. Okay. Let's assume this is substation 1. And in the substation 1, we have the 10 meters. Okay. We'll just align this. And there will be in shapes here. You can able to change the way you want. Okay. And here what I will be doing is, instead of writing everything, I will just put a dot. Okay. This is where we are 10 smart meters. Let's increase the font. Okay. So now we have our smart meters. So let's go to the AWS cloud. In the groups, we have the different options. Okay. So for now, we will just select the AWS. Okay. So before that, we have to select the internet, correct? Let's think this as an internet. Internet. So these smart meters, right? So these smart meters will connect to the internet. Even these smart meters will connect to the internet. Why? Because we have to send the data via internet, correct? Even this will be connecting to the internet. So basically this will be connecting via the SCADA system. Okay, to make it simple, I'm just showing as in representing as an internet, correct? So this is what we are having. Okay, this is one thing. Let's change some color. Okay, no issues. Now, so we need to have some gateway, correct, here, just to collect the data from the smart meters. What we'll do is we'll select so this is what you can able to select anyone. Okay, if you are not able to get here, you can just scroll down and you can able to find the same thing in the IoT section. If you see here in the IoT section, we are having the different options, correct? So once you are familiar, you can able to explore these IoT devices. For now, we will use the search. It is very much simple and we'll get the immediate results, correct? For that reason. Okay, so we'll name this as an IoT core. So what this will be doing is it will taking the data from the smart devices. Okay, now so now we already have the IoT. This is in the gateway. So this will collect or else receive the data from the our smart meters. For now, we have to put one rules for the IoT. Okay, so as the name suggests, so here we are defining the rules, what how exactly the the data which is received from the smart meters needs to be processed further. Okay, this is one thing. From here, let's connect to this. Okay, yeah. Now from here, what we will be doing is we will be putting that in the data stream. Okay, this is what, and in the real real world scenario, these are all the services what we use usually we use. Okay, this is the data streams. Okay, so here we are saving the data. So let me explain a little bit about this one. Okay, in the data stream, so how it works is, so let me, okay, so in this data stream, so we will be having some partitions. Okay, like this, and each partitions will have 1 MB, this also 1 MB, and this also 1 MB, so on. Or else these partitions can able to take up to 1000 records per second, 1 MB per second, or else 1000 records per second. Okay, same thing. So this will, the data which we are receiving from the smart meters will be stored in these, the partitions also we call it in the shards. Okay, this is how it will be, and the data stored in this specific shards or else like partition, so it will, we are taking and using that to analyze it. Okay, this is how the data stream will be, we are utilizing the data stream. Okay, and then from the data stream what we will be doing is we will be using the fire hose. Okay, so why we are using this fire hose is because, so the data which is stored in this data stream, that needs to be put it in the one of the storage, correct, S3. So here we are using the storage. For that, to just to put the data, we are using the, this is firehose, and this is, this is the S3. Okay, now from this what we will be doing is we use the glue. Okay, for the analytical purpose. So we will make this little more. Okay, and from this we will be using Athena. Mm, this is to query the data. Okay, and then we will use the quick site. Okay, so in the phase one, this is what we will be doing now. Okay, so basically from the substation, we will be having the 10 meters smart meters. So the smart meters here. So what we will be doing is, so we will configure voltage, current, and also the power factor and the complete power. Okay, this is power factor and the power, and the data we will be fetching through the internet, and that will be fed to the IoT core. We'll generate some the rules from that stream, and we are storing the data in the S3 bucket. Here we will be doing the encryption, and also what we'll be doing is we'll install the CA, that is the certificate which is required for the encryption, and also for the secure connection establishing from the substation to the cloud. Correct? So why the encryption is needed, which we already spoke in the last class. Correct? That is one thing. And here also the we are enabling the encryption in the S3, and then we are taking that to the glue Athena, and then we will be seeing what exactly the parameters we have received. Right? So this is how everyone has to create the diagram first before you are proceeding further. Correct? So anybody having any doubts? No. Okay. So we'll do one thing. We'll take quick 5 minutes break and we'll come back. Okay. Okay, so we'll start again. Okay, now we'll log into AWS. Okay, so let me show you how to create an okay. So if you hold on. So I'm trying to log into my account. So it will be very much easy to set up this. Okay, since I already have my account, so I cannot able to create one more, right? So for that reason, I will be logging into my system. Okay, and you once you create your account, so you will get the similar the dashboard. Okay, right? So this is how it will be looking. Okay, and so one important you have to notice is, so you need to select this specific region. Okay, so if you are not selecting this, then so you can select different region. For example, we have the US regions, and also we have the Asia Pacific, we have the Mumbai, and even you can able to select the Mumbai. One second. You can able to select the specific region, whichever you feel it's fine for you. Okay, so I have selected North Virginia, that is US, because the comparatively it will be an cheaper option. And even you can able to select the Asia Pacific, that is the Mumbai option. Okay, and you are free to select any of the region. Okay, the first thing what you have to do is you have to set the region here in this whenever you select this specific region, right? So all the data what we will be generating and sending, it will be storing in specific region. Okay. So, and also the certain the European region, so the Frankfurt and the Ireland and the London. So, base comparatively, these are little costlier, and you are free to select any of the region, but I will be selecting the North Virginia. Okay, right. So now, so first, what we will be doing is, let me close this. Okay. So, the very much important step what I will be doing is I will create the data stream first. Why? Because even though if we create these substations, the smart meters or else IoT, we have to integrate that to the data stream. So the basically first I will start with the backbone. This is what the backbone is for us, correct? The data stream, which will be which help us to store this smart meter details. So for that, the first thing what I will be doing is I will create the data streams. Okay. So here we just go here and type data streams. Okay. Now there will be an window opening, right? Here we'll be having the different options, correct? So we need to select the Kinesis data stream. What it does is it will collect the stream data from the downstreams. So this is how it works. IoT device for us now, IoT devices, smart meters. Smart meters will be sending the data, and that's the data will be streamed here. Okay, just click on the create, and we'll give one name for this. And so what I will be doing is, so I will just give the smart grid meter stream. Okay, and select the on demand, the provision. So in the when you select the provision, you have to manually calculate how much the partitions or like strats is required, right? So it requires more calculation from our end, so you don't have to worry about it. And so you can able to just select the on demand, or else what we'll do is we'll not create on demand, we'll create the provision. Okay, so because this is very small, the project, correct, what we will be doing it, and also it is only the simple 10 meters, smart meters. So for that reason, what we'll do is we'll select the provisioned one. Here I need only one, because uh, it can able to take up to 1 MB, which I was explaining earlier, right? Or else 1000 records per second. So if you do the calculation, I have the 10 smart meters, and this will not generate, the maximum generation of the data will be in the kbs, correct? It could be in 20 kb or 40 kb of data, and I am not exceeding more than 1000 records. So I want only one shreds, or else you think like in small partition where I am going to save the data, correct? So let's create this. Okay, so we have to wait for 2 to 3 minutes to get it activated. Yeah, so now our stream is activated. Okay, what we have created, and so you can able to explore the options, right? In your left hand side there will be an option which is related to the specific services. Okay, you can go to the dashboard. In the dashboard, you can see what exactly the services we have created. So currently there is only one data streams, that is which we had created now, correct? So if you click on that, you will see, okay, we have created the smart grid meter stream. So we can able to close like this. And also, if we if you have created multiple data streams, then you will have listed those. Okay, now you can able to see the overview. So status, it is active now, and we have selected the provision capacity mode, and it is only the 1 MB of data what we are looking, right? So now this is active, correct? This part is done. Okay, now let's create this part, the IoT part. Okay, let me put something here so that uh, yeah, it's okay. And that is one thing. And what we'll be doing is, yeah, so again, what I will be doing is I will just open it in the new tab. Okay, now we will select the IoT IoT core. So this is how it works. So IoT core, it is to connect the field devices, correct? Now let's go to the, in the left hand side we'll be having the different options, correct? So these are all the advanced, like once you start working on this tool, correct, this software, you will get to know what and why exactly these options are needed. For now, don't worry about all these options. So what we have to do is we have to create one thing, that is Internet of Things, correct? So go to the all devices. In that, there is one option called things. Now let's create an Internet of Things, that is our meters, correct? So let's create one. So let's create a single. So we are trying to club all the meters. For the simplicity, we can make it as a complex, like if we are working on the advanced IoT systems, right? So that will be an little so just to keep it simple, I'm creating only one, and I am naming it as an smart meter simulator. Okay, or else yeah, let it be. And you don't have to worry anything about this. So if you are want to configure more thing, for example additional configuration, let's say what is this device type, you can able to create. And if you want to group them, all the IoT devices, you can able to create it. And we can also create then billing group. Let's say for the 10 or 5 devices, the billing group will be different, and the other 5 smart devices, the billing group will be different. So this is all the customizable what we can able to do it. Okay, for now we will just keep it very simple. And so here it is asking whether we have to do HTTPS or else MQTT topics. So just to make keep it simple, we will select no shadow. Okay, now this is very important part. So in the last classes I was demonstrating why we required the device certificates, correct? So here in the AWS, what it will be doing is, so it will create the certificate in the AWS. We don't have to create our own, or else we don't have to buy the certificate from the third party, that is DigiCert or so on. We have the different CA vendors, correct? We don't have to buy that from the third party. So the good part is here we can able to generate the certificate. So these certificate will be installed. We will install these certificate in the smart meters, okay, so that it will authenticate itself. That is one thing. So here, if you see, we have the different options, correct? So auto generate a new certificate. So the AWS is telling this is the recommended way. What it will be doing is, so it will generate a certificate. It is also generate the public key and the private key. Okay. So even the public key and the private key, importance of these two, already spoke in the last class. Okay. These are all required to encrypt the data and secure the connection. Okay. So if we have our own certificate, we can able to register. Let's say we don't want to use the certificate which the cloud provider has given, right? So I have different for example, the KPTCL might have tied up with one of the CA provider, correct? So it could be an DigiCert or so on. So in that case, if we have our own certificate, then we can able to configure that. So for now, we will generate our own certificate here. Okay. So let's create. Okay. So yeah, the policy for now we will not worry about this policy. Okay. So let's create the Internet of Things. Okay. And this is the critical part and very much important part. Okay. We need to download this. So if we are not downloading this certificate and the public and private key, we cannot able to download later. So whenever it pops up, right, like this, we need to download the certificates. So first we'll download the device. So let's say we will download, and I will do one thing. Okay, I will download in a specific folder. Okay, so yeah, so I will download here. I had downloaded the certificate, and I also need the public key, correct? So I will be downloading the public key, and also I will be downloading the private key. These are all required for the, and also we are downloading the root certificates, and also we need these certificates. Okay, now great. So we have downloaded all the required certificate, private key and the public key. Then we will close it. Okay, now what we have done is, so we had created the IoT core. This is our gateway, and now, so, and also we had downloaded the certificates. Now we will configure the rules. Okay, so once this has been created, you can able to cross check. Done. So what we will be doing is we will create the rules, right? Okay, I want IoT rules. So we have to select the routing, manage route. Okay, in this message routing, we have to create one rules. So let's, so this is, let me delete the older one. Okay, let's create the new rule. So what the name what we'll be giving is, we will give the smart grid to kinesis rule. Okay, and then the options, or we can able to give the description. For now we'll skip it. Okay, the name, yeah. And so we need to provide one SQL, that is select all from the smart grid meters. So what rules we are creating here is the SQL. So don't worry, the all the steps and these small SQL queries I will be providing for your practice. Okay, so think like so these rules, what it will be doing is simple SQL query where I am selecting select star means all from the smart grid meters. So we are sending in data to the IoT core, correct? So the rule is telling we are not excluding any of the meters. So if you feel like you need to exclude any specific meters, you can do the query here. But for now, what we will be doing is we are selecting all from the smart meters. Okay, so we'll create it. And so what we have to do, this rule needs to get attached to our data stream, correct? So this is the part what we are working. So now we had created the IoT core. Now we also created the rule. Now rule has to be attached to the data streams, correct? So for that reason, what we have to do is, so here, so you can able to rule action where we need to select the data stream, correct? So if you, there is lot of options, yeah. So this is where we need to send the message, smart meter message. Okay, when we select this, so this is what we had created, correct? Data stream. When you refresh it, and there will be an option, correct? We need to select. Okay, that is one thing. So yeah, and let's stay. So the IAM rules roles we have to create. IAM is, it is like an stringent rules who can access what. Okay, so you guys has to focus on these IAM, because this is where the policies will be defined. For example, this IoT, if IoT wants to talk to the Kinesis data stream, correct? It needs to have policy. Without the policy, they cannot talk to each other. So this is how the stringent the AWS is, right? So if we already have, then yes, or else we can able to create the new one. So let's say it's okay. We can able to, okay, let's create one. I have selected the role. Okay, so it will ask us to review it, correct? So what we have done is role property, the smart grid to the kinesis, okay, the SQL statement. So I am selecting all the data, all the parameters from the smart meters, the 10, all 10 smart meters. and rule action. Okay, and the permission, the IAM role is the permission one. Okay, so it is sending that to the okay, let's create it. Yeah, now coming to the design part. So we have completed this, right? So the IoT, the core has the IoT rule engine. IoT rule engine is attached to the data streams. Now what we will be doing is the data stream, let's connect to the firewall so that we can able to save that to the S3 bucket. Okay, the storage. So anyone has any doubts until now, or else should I repeat? Or concepts you are able to understand?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so don't worry, like this will be an very much overwhelming. So once you start working, so just try to understand the concept and why we are doing it, correct? So why? Because in the smart grid technologies, everything, every process is happening in the cloud. Okay, we are just taking the data and processing in the cloud. To process that, we need to have the services, correct? So we are trying to fit all the services each other. Okay, and you have to spend more time on these AWS services which I was mentioning earlier, correct? And the write up also I will be giving later on. So try to read those documents. If you read the documents, then only you will understand. And the second point, so this is the latest technologies. If you don't want to learn this, then it's okay. So the whatever the conventional, the motors, the power cells, the windmills, so you guys can able to do all the designing and understand that specific topics, correct? So this is the topics where I want to tell you how the actual system work in the latest technologies, correct? So try to focus here and try to read the documents and you will understand how the system works. Okay, that is one thing. And we had created the rules. Now what we will be doing is we will create an smart meter. Okay, so before we sending the data to the kinesis, right, so we'll do the smart metering. So it is the virtual one. What we will be doing is, okay, let me open my VS code. Okay, yeah, great. So VS code, it's in code editor. Okay, don't worry. And so you can use any of the code editors you want. This is required because we cannot connect the smart meters, correct? So what we are trying to do is we are creating an virtual smart meters, and there will be a piece of code and which I will provide, don't worry about it. So that is one thing. Let me just grab my code. So if you see, these are all the certificate which we had downloaded it, correct? So we it was in the folder. From the folder I opened this, the VS code, so you can able to download it. And once you download it any specific folder, right click on that, and there will be an option called open with VS code. So once you open it, so you will have this options. Okay, and so what I will be doing is, let me, so before that I will enable, I'm just trying to enable the my code. Okay, so first, uh, just if you are not knowing a little bit about the coding, right, don't worry. So what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to open the Linux command. Okay, for that I'm using the WSL, and okay, right, that is one thing. And let me copy this. Just give me a minute, guys. I am getting my code. Yeah, there is small changes what I wanted to do it. Okay, we had created this. Okay, anyhow. Yeah. So what I'm trying to do is I'm creating one script. Okay, that is called. So we will be utilizing the Python here. Okay, so I'm using the Linux command. Okay, you can simply just right click and create an script. This script I will be providing, don't worry. So I will just give you a very brief what exactly this script will be doing. Okay, so this is the script where we are enacting the actual smart meter. Okay, so how we are doing is we are using the Python script to do the virtualization of our smart grid. Here we have some libraries. Okay, and we are MQTT client what we are using to send the data, because we are using MQTT, right? And the configuration, so this is the endpoint. So I will explain what exactly the ports, and this is the topic. So we need to specify here, right? So I will show you, and this is the certificate path. These are the path. We will just rename it. Okay, so we will rename that. Let me copy this. And let me rename here itself. So what we will do is, just for our simplicity purpose, we'll, this is certificate path. This certificate will be installed in the device, correct? So instead of random name, we are okay. This is one rename I'm doing it, and The other one is the private key. This is the private key what we are having. Let's go, and I'm trying to rename it. Okay, this is it. Yeah. So this is the basic configuration what we will be doing it, and so it is telling, the Python script is telling, okay, we need to have the certificate. So basically in the real world, what how things work is these, we need to download this certificate from the AWS, and then it has to be installed in the smart device, physical smart device. How we will be doing it, we need to connect the the cable, that is data cable, into the smart device. From that to the our laptop, from the laptop we need to install this, the certificate to the, into the smart meters. Okay, so we are just trying to sell where exactly the certificate path is, what is the key. This is the key for the encryption, and CA path. So this is what the root CA it is. Now here if you see, what we are trying to generate here is the script, it is generating the voltage. So basically I am generating a random number, okay, between 220 to 240. So why between these two? Because I am trying to put it in the range uh, 220 to 240, and this is an voltage parameter for me. Okay, so the meter will be generating the random numbers between these two as an voltage, and the current, it will be from the 5 to 15 amps. Okay, it will be in the random numbers. So how the actual meter will be generating that parameters, correct? This is what the script is doing. And also the power, the power is the voltage what we have generated here, and also the current divided by 1000. Okay, and the frequency also, what we are trying to do is we are trying to create one random numbers between 49.8, 50.2, because we cannot say at all the given point the frequency will be 50 hertz, right? So it will differ. For that reason we are saying generate a random number between these two, so that uh, we are trying to enact the real world scenario, right? And the second same thing, we are trying to generate a power factor. So power factor cannot be exactly at 1 or 0.99, correct? So what we are trying to do is we are trying to generate a number between 0.85 to 0.99. Okay, that is one thing. So coming to the payload, so it is what the information the smart meter will be sending to the our compute is AWS, right? So what we are sending, we are sending the smart meter. Okay, that is smart meter ID. It could be an wa- 1 meter. The name is, for the first meter it is 001, and we are sending the timestamp, the date, and also uh, so we are sending the date, the time, so when the meter will generate the data, correct? And also we are sending the parameters like voltage, and we are not sending the complete digits, but it will be rounded to the 2. Okay, and also we are sending the current, the power, the frequency, and the power factor. Okay, this is how, this is what the payload, it will be, the smart meter will be sending to us. And yes, as we were speaking earlier, so we need to use the MQTT, right, the message broker. For that what we are doing is we are installing then MQTT client. Okay, and so this will install the certificate, CA certificate, which we already have it in the our folder, right? And TLS version it has to be 1.2. So this is the latest TLS which I was explaining last class, right? This is very important one, because the communication has to happen through the latest encryption. that is TLS version 2. Okay, so this is all about the connection, the ports and the clients. Okay, this is very simple, the Python script. So we will execute this. Okay, and we'll see what how the data will be going to the cloud. Okay, so yes, we'll take in a breakfast break, and we'll come back and we'll see how the data will be sent, will be reflecting in the cloud in the real time. Okay, yeah, thank you. So we'll come back after 20 minutes. Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. Just a minute, guys. I'm just trying to debug my some code error. Okay. Meanwhile, guys, you just try to open the this AWS and check the interfaces, or else you can able to create the account. Okay. Meanwhile, I have some small error running in the code, so I am trying to fix it. Okay. So anybody has any question on the this cloud part? Any doubts?
So after simulating, what it get results, expected results,
I
it
will
get
be showing.
waveforms.
I will show. Okay, so that is where I have a small bug here. I'm trying to fix it. Okay, just give me a minute. So expected result would be an dashboard. So it will be an showing all the parameters about the voltage, the current, and the power factors, and it will be every 5 minutes how it will be looking. So that is what the output will be.
Sir, it will take generated meter values 220 volts and 240 volts. It's like a single phase supply, sir, substations.
So for now, it is just to show, make it simple. Okay. So for that reason only, I have taken as an 230 volts. Okay. because we are getting the information from the smart meters, correct?
Yeah.
So when you, if you want to do some research, or like if you want to do some more complicated, right, you can able to change the voltage. Okay, just to show the demonstration from the smart meters, I have considered the value around 230, 220 to 230 volts. Okay.
Yes.
Okay, I think so. We'll do one thing. So yeah, I think I got it. Python 3 run smart meter. Python smart meter. Hmm, wait, it's not taking. Basically, you guys can understand the Python scripts, right? Sure. File error. Okay, in the line 796. 49. Okay, the currency path. Oh, okay. Hmm, that is okay. Mhm. There is, yeah, yes, I got the output. Okay, okay. So you can able to see the screen, right? Can someone confirm? Okay. So see, what I will explain the code again, and I will tell what exactly the problem was. Okay. So in the code, what we are trying to do is we are trying to do the virtualization. Okay. So for that, we are importing few libraries, the Python libraries, and this was the important one, and this was an MQTT. Okay. So here the endpoint. So this endpoint is the entry point to the AWS, right? Where exactly we got it. So if in the IoT, in the domain configuration, because we had configured the thing, correct? So we had configured the IoT. So this was the IoT device what we had configured, and then so to get this the endpoint, that is the entry point of this specific, so we will get this the domain name, correct? So once I get the domain name, so I had copy pasted that domain name, and the port is 883. Okay, and the certificate path, this is what it is, and here the meter count. So see, so I made it as 10, the meters, the smart meters, and the publish interval, I am sending the data at an interval of 5 seconds. Okay, so every 5 seconds what meter will be giving is the meter id, the timestamp, voltage, and the frequency, and so on, right? So I executed this one. If you see the output, so this is in the terminal, I will show in the AWS. Okay, but see how the output is, right? So let's take an example, the latest one. Okay, see, you just concentrate on this, the meter. This is like the meter is sending the data, the meter one, the meter id, the timestamp, the voltage. See, this is the voltage what we are getting, and also the current, and the so on. Okay, now let's go to the AWS. Let's see whether we are getting that data or not. Okay, so let's go to the kinesis, and this is the dashboard. We need to wait for a couple of minutes. Okay, so now what we have done is, I will show in the diagram. So for the today's class, what we configured was, we configured the smart meters and the IoT. This is the gateway. So successfully we can able to get the details of the smart meter to this IoT, and let's see in the data stream whether we are getting the data or not. Okay, this is part, just concentrate on this part for now. Okay, we are not doing any dashboard for now, we will configure it, but inside the AWS, let's see whether we are getting the data or not. Okay, so it's been like 2 or 3 minutes. Okay, so this is the Kinesis data streams which we configured. Let's go here, let's go to the dashboard and select our data stream. If I go select here, I will select the smart meter. Let me close this. And in the monitoring, we have a different matrices, right? So we have the, other, we will not worry about it. It will just confuse us. Okay, just let's see. If you see these datas, okay, see the incoming data, we are getting it, okay, and yeah, so incoming data count, okay, and the put record, yes, we are getting the data, and this is the latency. The latency is 5.2 milliseconds, okay, the data. And let me do one thing, let me change that to the local time, and also let me do it for the 1 hour of time, okay. So incoming data, see, we are getting an data, okay. So the data size is 2.56 KB. Average ratio, we are putting one data, okay. So this is to say that like successfully we are getting the data into the cloud. Okay, you may not be able to understand for now, but think like what I am trying to see is in the data stream, I am trying to see whether I am getting the data or not. So in there is one uh, option called the monitoring. In the monitoring, so I am trying to check whether my data is coming or not. Okay. So in this in this, yeah, if you see here, we just need to wait for a couple of minutes because this has to gather the information, correct. So now it has gone up. If you see the put records, yeah, it is gradually going. If we wait for another 5 or 6 minutes, again the voltage, the current, everything will be recorded. So we'll wait for another 2 or 3 minutes so that the record whatever we are expecting, it it comes to our cloud, okay. This is the milliseconds, the latency is good. Yeah, so until now anybody has any questions or else everything is clear? And if you see here, the meter still running. This is the virtual meter. You just have to run the code. I will provide the code and I will also give you how to run this code in the local system. And the local system is behaving as a smart meter for us. And all the details, the timestamp, what we have, it is generating for all the meters every 5 seconds. Okay. So any doubts? All clear? Good. Okay. So next step, what we will be doing is, so we will just move further with this and we will connect the other part, okay, and we will see how the voltage and current in the last step, okay. So if it is still confusing, stop me at any time, okay. So if you are not understanding, then please let me know. So let's see the data. Yeah, incoming data we are getting. Let me refresh once again. Yeah, we are getting the data. Good. This is also okay. The put record, the latency. Mm, fine. So let's open one more tab. Okay. So let's put it in the Let's create one database. Okay. And we will create a standard one. Okay, just give me a minute, guys. Okay, so what I'm doing is I'm trying to configure this part. Okay, so we need some storage to store the data what we are receiving it, correct? So from the streams we have to dump the data to the S3. So what we have to do is we need to create one the bucket. So this is general purpose, and what name I will be doing giving is, let's give the smart, and okay, and we have to be very careful. So we need to enable disable the public access. If you are enabling the public access, then anybody having this URL can able to open your bucket. So you have to be very careful before creating any of the storage, right? The server and the storages, you need to be very careful that you should not give any public access to anyone. Okay, whenever you start to create it, you need to read all the instructions here. You need to be very careful, and apart from that specific, you don't have to enable anything. You just leave it as in default. And the encryption, yes, I was telling earlier, right? So we need to do the encryption of our data, right? So this is the option, and just creating data. Okay, so now this is what our data is, data storage is, right? So it is, I created one bucket. Now let's go back, and let's what we'll configure is we'll configure the fire hose. Okay, let's go here, and let's open another tab, and let's search for the fire hose, right? Okay, so we will try to create one fire hose just to save the data in the streams to the S3, correct? So we need to select the source. So my source is the data streams, and the destination will be my S3 bucket, right? So there is a lot of other options. Whenever you do the hands-on, correct, you can able to explore this. And the destination, if you see here, there is a lot of other destination. You don't have to worry about it. These are all the advanced settings. So if you want to do some research or any advanced projects on the smart grid and other IoT, right? There is other option also. For now, we don't have to worry about it. Let's select the S3 bucket. Okay. So data stream, let it be. And we need to choose the data stream. So which we already created, correct? I am going to select that data stream, I have selected, and you don't have to select anything because we are not doing an ETL process. ETL process is then extract, transform, and load. We are not changing any of the parameters. We are saving the same parameters: voltage, current, and the power factor. Correct. So where the destination is my the storage which I created. Correct. I will be selecting that the storage, and yeah. So the prefixes. Why? Because like all the data which I am getting from the smart devices has to be stored like in the timestamp, right? So what I will be doing is, see, this is what we need. Okay, so you can keep it as an standard. You don't have to worry about anything. Okay, and this is one thing. So just a minute. Yeah, and server side, and we have to give the one instance type. Why I'm getting this error? Mm, 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 mm. Okay, there must be some error. So I have to do just excludes. Okay, okay. We are giving the same, the optional. Yeah, I think they should be okay. The error output. Unable to create a few minutes. Okay, let's troubleshoot why. We'll wait for a couple of minutes. Okay, so it should come up. Let's refresh once again. Still taking time probably. Let's create once again. Okay, let's create destination. And let's browse this. Let's also select this tree. Okay, and let's not give this. Let's give this. Okay. And coming to the advanced part. Yeah. Specify cannot include the new line. Okay, I think I'm getting some error. Cannot include in the new line. Why? Cannot repeat the same key in the S3 bucket. The maximum. Okay, you can specify. Cannot include the new line. Okay, let's. Okay, guys, we'll do one thing. So let me fix this. Okay, so anyhow, tomorrow we will be continuing the other part. Correct. So let me fix this error. So in the S3 bucket. Okay. So what we'll be doing. So today what we have covered is. So we have covered these smart meters and how we are like injecting the data into the data stream. So tomorrow what we'll be doing is we will do the visualization. Okay, we'll see how the voltage, current and the other parameters we can able to view, and we can able to create one the anomaly detection. Okay, this will be the tomorrow's the class focused on. Okay, so meanwhile please everybody try to do some research on the AWS IoT part, and also try to do the the reading about the storage and the quick site, because tomorrow the quick site is the important topic what we will be discussing, right? And coming to the this one, our meters, see our meters still sending the data, that is good. And what, let's see in our dashboard, still I'm getting that or not. Okay, so till now anybody has any questions? So I will be doing troubleshooting, don't worry. And tomorrow I will again walk through this. And by tomorrow end of the class, you will get to know like how we can able to process the data from the on-premises to the cloud, the smart meter one. Okay. So if you are not reading this AWS different services, then it will be very much difficult for you to understand. So try to read it. Okay.
ಸರ್ ಇದು ರಿಲೇಟೆಡ್ ಯಾವ್ದಾದ್ರು ಒಂದು ಡೆಮೋ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪೆರಿಮೆಂಟ್ ಏನಾದ್ರು ಯೂಟ್ಯೂಬ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಅವೈಲೇಬಲ್ ಇದ್ರೆ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಗ್ರೂಪ್ ಸೆಂಡ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕು ಸರ್.
ಸೊ ನಾನು ಮೊನ್ನೆ ಒಂದು ಡಾಕ್ಯುಮೆಂಟೇಶನ್ ತೋರಿಸಿದ್ನಲ್ಲ ಅದನ್ನು ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಿ. ಸೊ ಐ ಹ್ಯಾಡ್ ಗಿವನ್ ದ ಡಾಕ್ಯುಮೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ವಾ,
ಹಾಂ
ಸೊ ರೀಡ್ ದಟ್. ಸೊ ಅದೊಂದು, ದೆನ್ ಎನಿಥಿಂಗ್ ಎಲ್ಸ್?
ಗುಡ್ ಮಾರ್ನಿಂಗ್ ಮಧು ಸರ್.
ಸರ್ ಗುಡ್ ಮಾರ್ನಿಂಗ್.
ಸರ್ ಸರ್ ಮೋಸ್ಟ್ ಪ್ರಾಬಬ್ಲಿ ಇವತ್ತು ಅಪ್ರೂವ್ ಸಿಗ್ಬೋದು ಅಸೈನ್ಮೆಂಟ್ಸು. ನಾಳೆ ಒಂದು ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಅಸೈನ್ಮೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಹೆಂಗ್ ಮಾಡೋದು ಅಂತ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪ್ಲೇನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಾ ಸರ್?
ಸರಿ ಸರ್, ಓಕೆ. ನಾನು ಇದು ಮುಗಿಸೋಣ ಅಂತಿದ್ದೆ. ಸೊ
ಮುಗಿಸಿ ಸರ್, ಹಂಗಾರೆ ಮುಗಿಸಿ. ಬಟ್ ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಒಂದು ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಮಾಡಕ್ಕೆ ಟೈಮ್ ಬೇಕಲ್ವಾ ಸರ್ ಅಸೈನ್ಮೆಂಟ್ಸ್, ಹಂಗಾಗಿ ಒಂದು ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಹೇಳ್ತೀರೇನೋ ಅಂತ. ಆಯ್ತು, ಇದು ಮುಗಿಸೇ ಹೇಳಂತ್ರಿ ತಾಳ್ರಿ ಸರ್, ನೋಡೋಣ. ಇವತ್ತು ಅಪ್ರೂವ್ ಸಿಕ್ಕರೆ ಓಕೆ, ಇಲ್ಲ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಅದು ಮುಗಿಸೇ ಹೇಳಂತ್ರಿ.
ಓಕೆ, ಲೆಟ್ ಮೀ ನೋ. ಮಾಡೋಣ ಸರ್, ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ ಇಲ್ಲ.
ಓಕೆ ಓಕೆ, ಥ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಯು.
Okay. So if you see the data correct, so see we are getting the data in the cloud. If you see this, okay. So yeah, this is the latency what we are getting. So tomorrow we'll convert this data into the visual dashboard. Okay. Yeah, so that's it for today's class. There is some error, I will be troubleshooting the error. Okay, anything else, let me know. And guys, try to open an account in the AWS and try to do this. At least try to start exploring the options. Okay, tomorrow class it will be in complete phase 1, end of the phase 1 of the hands-on. And yeah, that's it. If we have nothing, then we can drop off. Okay. Okay, thank you guys.